Hello, welcome back to the channel. Now, before I start, you'll notice I'm in a different position. My chair's usually by the window over there, but as you can see, it's too bright at the moment, so I moved the chair over here by the wall, so you'll be able to see me a lot better. So this is my very first album review that I'm doing on YouTube. I've never reviewed an album on YouTube before. I've done album rankings, but I've never done a review before. So I'm starting off by, I'm going to be reviewing all the Beatles albums individually, and they're going to be track by track reviews. So the first one I'm going to be doing is Please Please Me. So Please Please Me is the first studio album by the Beatles, and it was released on the 22nd of March 1963. So yeah, I did a little bit of research while I was listening to this album just now. I just finished listening to this in preparation for this review. I really enjoyed this. I mean, my favourite period of the Beatles is the later era, but the early stuff is just, it's great. I still love the early Beatles. And this album was recorded in just one day. It was recorded in just 10 or 11 hours. It's just, wow. Absolute genius. So yeah, I'm gonna go track by track now and tell you my thoughts on each song. So it opens with I Saw Her Standing There. Such an iconic opening. It's just a great opening track. It starts off with Paul McCartney counting the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just kicks in. So yeah, it's a great rock and roll track. Paul McCartney on lead vocals, and yeah, his vocal performance is fantastic. The guitar riff is brilliant. Simple song, and yet it's brilliant. It's a classic, Beatles classic. Let's be honest. It's been played on the radio. It doesn't matter how overplayed it is. I think it's just fantastic. It's a fantastic song. Second song is Misery. So this is another Lennon-McCartney composition. I Saw Her Standing There was also written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney, because there's a lot of covers on here as well, but we'll get to them. So the second song is Misery. And this is a more of a slower song. It's kind of, this one's quite downbeat, but it's a lovely song. It's got some nice piano by George Martin. And yeah, I just love John Lennon's vocal performance. Like, he always gave a good vocal performance in the Beatles. Yeah, it's a very short song. It's about, yeah, it's just under 2 minutes. So, but it's great. I love it. Track 3 is Anna Go to Him, and this is a cover song. And this was by Arthur Alexander. Now, I haven't heard Arthur Alexander's version of this, but apparently it's a lot different. I don't know how different, but apparently it's got a different. Apparently his version's a bit faster, or I don't know. But it's a great cover. I'm not one of those people who tends to knock the Beatles cover songs. You know, if they're done well, then they're great. I love a lot of cover songs they've done. This is a beautiful song. It's a very nice slow ballad, and so yeah, I love the vocals by John, and some nice backing vocals as well. Beautiful. So track 4 is Chains. Now this is another cover song, and this is by Jerry Goffin and Carole King. And this one has George Harrison on lead vocals. This is George Harrison's first Beatles vocal, and yeah, it's a good song. It's a nice, some great harmonica. You know, it's a simple song, but it's just so enjoyable. And track 5 is Boys, and this is a song by the girl group, the Shirleys. I think they did the original. I'm not too sure. Someone might have done it before them, but you know, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I've not heard their version, but wow, I mean, but this is a great cover, and this one has Ringo Starr on vocals, and yeah, I always found Ringo to be underrated as a singer. Yeah, it's a good rock and roll song. And then next is Ask Me Why. So this is an original song, a Lennon-McCartney song. And this was before this album. This was actually released as the B-side of Please Please Me. But yeah, it's a beautiful song, lovely lyrics, very nice harmonies. And track 7 is the classic title track, Please Please Me, and it was the Beatles' second single, which is, it's kind of odd that it's actually on here, because back in the 60s, a lot of British artists, including the Beatles, they didn't really like including previously released singles on albums. But yeah, they included it on here. But yeah, it's a great song. I mean, it's a classic. It's got brilliant harmonica, great guitar work, wonderful harmonies. I love it. And then track 8 is another Beatles classic, Love Me Do, the first single by the Beatles, which this actually came out in 1962. Of course, the album was released in 63, but this was released as a single about October 62, I think. But yeah, they decided to include it on the album, and I'm glad they did. And yeah, it's just brilliant, that iconic harmonica. And this is kind of my introduction to the Beatles. My introduction to the Beatles was the compilation that they released in the early 2000s, Beatles 1. And this was the first track on that compilation. So yeah, it's a great song. Simple, but just brilliant. And I love the harmonies between John and Paul. Beatles classic. I don't care how overplayed it is. It's fantastic. So number 9, track 9 is P.S. I Love You, and this was originally the B-side of Love Me Do, but they included it on the album, which I'm glad they did, because why not, eh? But yeah, and it's another original composition, and yeah, it's a beautiful ballad, nice harmonies. And track 10 is Baby It's You, and this is another cover song. This is by Mac David and Barney Williams. I've never heard the original version of this, but even if I did, I'd probably say the Beatles version is the best. I mean, the Beatles, like, I think every song they covered, I actually love. And yeah, this is a beautiful slow ballad. Some nice, and I especially love the shalalas at the beginning of the song. It's just wonderful. and beautiful harmonies as always. That's one thing I love about the Beatles. It's their harmonies. And then track 11 is Do You Want to Know a Secret? This is another. It's written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney, but yeah, George sings lead vocals on this one. And yeah, this is a great song. Yeah, just a really fun song, really. I mean, it's a lot of these early Beatles songs. They're just like simple songs, but they're still brilliant. There's not really much more I can say about them. And then track 12 is Taste of Honey, which it's another cover song. And this is by Bobby Scott and Rick Marlowe. And this is actually my least favourite track on this album, but it's still a good track. I still like it. I love Paul's vocals, and especially the bit at the end when John's vocals come in at the end of the song. There's like a sort of reverb on his vocals. Yeah, there's a lot of like echo and reverb on these earlier albums, but well, I think on the stereo mix anyway. I think this is a stereo mix, so it's got a lot of like panning through the left and right speakers, but yeah, I think it just works. You know, I love John's vocal at the end, but it's not my favourite song on the album, but it's still a good song. But none of these songs are bad. And then track 13 is There's a Place. This is another Lennon-McCartney penned tune, and brilliant song. Love the harmonica. Love John and Paul's harmonies. Great lyrics. And then track 14, final track, is the classic Twist and Shout. And of course, Twist and Shout, it's not an original Beatles song. I mean, I think it was originally the Isley Brothers who did it before the Beatles, or someone may have done it before them, but the Beatles version is arguably the superior version. I mean, the Beatles made this their own, because the original version was actually quite a slow song. But yeah, the Beatles version is a upbeat rocker. And that's what they did on their earlier albums. They always like to end them with an upbeat rocker. And yeah, this is just a fantastic closing track. The Beatles really did make this their own. And yeah, the story behind this song, John Lennon decided to save this song till last because he actually had a cold during the recording sessions of this album, and he's worried that if he sang this song first, then he would shred his vocal cords and wouldn't be able to sing, because he already had a cold and sore throat during the recording of this. So yeah, he sang this till last, and even though he had a cold, sore throat, he screams his vocals, and I think he actually did get laryngitis after this. But yeah, it's a fantastic song. So yeah, Please Please Me is a great album. It's a great debut album, and I give it. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's fantastic. But yeah, there's more to come. The next one I'm doing is with the Beatles, so I'm reviewing them in the order that the Beatles released them in. Although when I was thinking of doing Let It Be, I was considering, should I review Let It Be before Abbey Road or after? Because I know Let It Be was recorded first before Abbey Road, but it came out afterwards. But yeah, I'll probably really review Let It Be last, because I'm doing them in order that they were released in, rather than order that they were recorded in. But yeah, but if you let me know in the comments if if you want me to do Let It Be first, I will, but I'd rather review it afterwards because that's the order that they've released them in. But yeah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review, and yeah, I really enjoyed listening to this album, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to what's to come next. So yeah, I'll see you in the next review. Take care.